Emeth and to our Shabbat Evening Service, and to welcome you here to the Rabbi Louis J. Siegel Sanctuary in Teaneck, New Jersey. If you are watching us on live stream this evening, I'd like to say welcome and bruchim habaim to you. If you have a copy of Mishkan Tefillah, our Siddur, at home, now is the perfect time to bring it to your computer or your screen so that you can follow along with the prayers and the songs and follow each and every page number of our service this evening. Also, if you're watching us on live stream, I hope that you will take a moment to post a comment in the chat or comment section of the live stream platform. In doing so, we will create bonds of virtual community this evening. This is the first Shabbat since the tragic killings in Uvalde, Texas, which took the lives of 19 children and 2 adults. We entered the sanctuary in grief, in anger, and with a sense of helplessness. And while each of these feelings is legitimate and righteous, I hope that our time together will add another feeling, comfort. In times of tragedy, we take comfort in the words of our prayers, and we take comfort in each other's presence. This evening, as is our custom on Memorial Day weekend, we will have a duet service. A few weeks ago, Cantor Tillum issued an invitation to our congregation to sing a duet of liturgical music with her this evening, and several of our members responded. This service reminds us not only how harmonies can inspire us, but how talented this congregation is. I hope as well, after these tragic weeks, the beautiful music we hear this evening will bring us solace. I would like to welcome the members of the congregation who are here in the sanctuary this evening and wish you Shabbat Shalom. Of course, you can find a copy of Mishkan Tefillah right in front of your seat, and I hope that you will follow along as we begin our service with the lighting of our Shabbat candles. The candle blessing is found on page 120 of Mishkan Tefillah and is preceded by an opening reading. For the honor of lighting our Shabbat candles, we call upon Emma Eig.
As these Shabbat candles give light to all who behold them, so may we, by our lives, give light to all who behold us. As their brightness reminds us of the generations of Israel who have kindled light, so may we, in our own day, be among those who kindle light. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat.
Oh, hear my prayer, I sing to you. Be gracious to the ones I love, and bless them with goodness and mercy and peace. Oh, hear my prayer to you. Oh, hear my prayer, I sing to you. Be gracious to the ones I love, and bless them with goodness and mercy and peace. Oh, hear my prayer to you. Let us light these lights and see the way to you, and let us say Amen. Let us light these lights and see the way to you, and let us say Amen. Oh, hear my prayer, oh, hear my prayer, I sing to you. Be gracious and bless them with goodness and mercy and peace. hear my prayer to you.
We continue now. Well, first let me thank Barbara Rosenfeld for joining with the cantor on this evening's first duet. And we continue now with the Kiddush, which is found on page 123. It is preceded by an opening reading. And for the honor of Kiddush, we are led by Mike Eastman. Please rise if you are able for the Kiddush. Okay, come stand right in front of the microphone. There we go.
As evening falls, we give thanks for the blessings of the past week, for life and strength, for work and rest, for home, love, and community. As we enjoy this bounty, may we be inspired to bring goodness into the lives of others. We raise a cup of wine in gratitude for the miracle of creation and for the gift of the day of rest. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei pri hagafen.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei pri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu v'shabbat kodsho b'yavo v'ratzon Hinchilanu zikaron lema'aseh Bereshit ki hu yom tefillah lemikra'ei kodesh zecher l'tziat Mitzrayim ki vanu v'chaita ve'otanu Kidashta mikol ha'amim v'shabbat kodshecha be'ahava uv'ratzon hinchalatanu Baruch atah Adonai mekadesh haShabbat. Amen. L'chaim.
Please be seated. Our opening song this evening is a Shabbat favorite.
That's the cue.
Indira Swade will join in duet with Cantor Tillum as together we begin our service by singing Bim Bam Shabbat Shalom.
Bim bam bim 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 bam bim 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 bam bim bam bim 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 bam bim bidi bim bim bam Shabbat Shalom Shabbat Shalom Shabbat 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 Shalom Shabbat Shalom Shabbat Shalom Shabbat 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 Shalom Shabbat 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 Shalom Shabbat 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 Shalom Shabbat Shalom Shabbat Shalom Shabbat 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 Shalom Bim bam bim 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 bam bim 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 bam bim bam bim 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 bam bim 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 bam Shabbat Shalom Shabbat Shalom Shabbat 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 Shalom Shabbat Shalom Shabbat Shalom Shabbat 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 Shalom Shabbat 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 Shalom Shabbat 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 Shalom Shabbat Shalom Shabbat Shalom Shabbat 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 Shalom Bim bam bim 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 bam bim 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 bam bidi 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 bim bam bim 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 bam bim 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 bam Nice.
We turn now to page 140 in our Siddur. A psalm, a song for Shabbat. It is good to praise Adonai, to sing hymns to your name, O Most High, to proclaim your steadfast love at daybreak, your faithfulness each night. With a 10-stringed harp, with voice and lyre together, you have gladdened me by your deeds, Adonai. I shout for joy at your handiwork. How great are your works, Adonai, how very subtle your designs. A brute cannot know, a fool cannot understand this. Together, the righteous bloom like a date palm. They thrive like a cedar in Lebanon, planted in the house of Adonai. They flourish in the courts of our God. In old age, they still produce fruit. They are full of sap and freshness, attesting that Adonai is upright, my rock, in whom there is no wrong. We continue now on page 144 with the Chatzi Kaddish.
Yitgadal v'yitgadash shemei Rabbah V'yamad yivrach pirutei v'yamlich malchutei V'chayechan u'v'yomechan u'v'chayei Tichol beit Yisrael Ba'gala u'v'zman kariv V'yimiru Amen Yehi Shmei Rabbah Mevarach Le'olam Le'olam Hayah Yitbarach Yitbarach V'yishtabach V'yitbar V'yitromam V'yitnaseh V'yitadar V'yitaleh V'yitalal Shmei Tukdasha B'richu Leila Min Kol B'chata V'shirata Tushbechata v'nechemata Damira me'amad V'yimiru Amen.
We continue now with the Baruch Hu, which is found on page 146 of Mishkan Tefillah. Please rise if you are able for the Baruch Hu. This evening, Baruch Hu will be led by Pauline Hecht in duet with Cantor Tillum.
Yai lai lai lai, yai lai lai lai, yai la lai 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 lai, yai lai lai lai, yai lai lai lai, yai la lai 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 lai, yai lai 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 lai, yai lai 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 lai, yai lai lai. Yai lai 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 yai lai 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 Baruchu et Adonai HaMevorach Baruch Adonai HaMevorach Le'olam va'ed Yai lai 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 Yai lai 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 Yai lai 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 Yai lai 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 Yai lai 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 Yai lai 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 lai.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bidvaro ma'ariv aravim v'chochma poteach sha'arim uvitfuna mishanei itim umachalif et hazmanim umisader et hakochavim b'mishmorotehem barakia kirtsono borei yom v'layla golel or mipnei choshech v'choshech mipnei or uma'avir yom umevi layla Umavdil ben yom uvein laila, Adonai tzvaot shemo. El chai v'kayam, tamid yimloch aleinu leolam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai, hama'ariv aravim. Wisdom and wonder, passion and instruction, story and symbol. All these things your Torah gives to us, and the more we devote ourselves to it, the more it grows and gives. What could be a truer token of your abiding love than this holiest of your works and the living language that gives it form? Baruch atah Adonai ohev amo Yisrael.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Baruch Shem Kivod Malchuto, Le'olam Va'ed.
Please be seated.
ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודך והיה הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך וקשרתם לאות על ידיך והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותי והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם אני אדוני אלוהיכם אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים להיות לכם לאלוהים אני אדוני אלוהיכם אדוני אלוהיכם אמת.
We continue now on page 157. Standing on the parted shores of history, we still believe what we were taught before ever we stood at Sinai's foot, that wherever we go, it is eternally Egypt, that there is a better place, a promised land, that the winding way to that promise passes through the wilderness, that there's no way to get from here to there except by joining hands, marching together. We turn now to page 158, where we find Mi Chamocha. We will be led in Mi Chamocha this evening by Stephen Friedman in duet with Cantor Tillum.
Mi Chamocha Ba'elim Adonai, Mi Chamocha Nedar Ba'Kodesh, Nora tehilot osef elei, Nora tehilot osef elei. Malchutecha ra'u banecha, bokei hayam lifnei Moshe, Zeli, Zeli,
Kivad Adonai et Yaakov, b'lo milchazak mimenu, baruch atah Adonai gal Yisrael.
As we prepare for our next duet, I'd like to invite Emma Eig to the bima, and as she joins with Cantor Tillum, I'd like to offer this reading. Sing the song of men and women joined in understanding and respect, the song of God's miracles, an earth protected and cherished, a gift for our children and the generations to come. The song of a land once ravished by war, now quiet and content, her soldiers home to leave no more. The song of a world redeemed, the song of peace. We turn now to page 160 as we join together in Hashkivenu, led by Emma Eig in duet with Cantor Tillum.
Hashkiveinu Adonai, Eloheinu l'shalom, v'hamideinu shomereinu l'chaim. 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 V'hamideinu shomereinu l'chaim. Ushmor tzeiteinu, uvoeinu, l'chaim u'shalom, ve'ata ve'ad olam. Hashkiveinu Adonai, Eloheinu l'shalom, v'hamideinu shomereinu l'chaim. Hashkiveinu Adonai, Eloheinu l'shalom, v'hamideinu shomereinu l'chaim. V'hamideinu shomereinu l'chaim.
We continue now on page 162 as we join in honoring Shabbat by singing Vishamru. Vishamru will be led for us this evening by Stacy Butler as she joins with Cantor Tillum in singing a duet. Please join us in Vishamru.
Vishamru, Bnei Yisrael, Vishamru et HaShabbat, Lasot et HaShabbat, Lasot et HaShabbat, Ledorotam berit olam. Beini uvein Bnei Yisrael, Oti le'olam. Lasot et HaShabbat, Lasot et HaShabbat, Lasot et HaShabbat le'olam. Ki sheshet yamim asa Adonai et hashamayim ve'et ha'aretz, u'bayom hashvi'i, u'bayom hashvi'i Shabbat vayinafash.
We turn now to page 164 as our service continues with the tefillah. Please rise if you are able for the tefillah.
Adonai sefata tiftachu v'yagi tehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu v'Elohei Avotenu v'Imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel v'Elohei Leah, Ha'el HaGadol HaGibor v'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim v'Konei Akol, וזוכר חסדי אבות ואימהות, ומביא גאולה לבני בניהם, למען שמו באהבה. מלך עוזר ומושיע ומגן, ברוך אתה אדוני, מגן אברהם בעזרת שרה. אתה גיבור לעולם אדוני, מחיה כל התחב להושיע, מוריד הטל. מחלקל חיים בחסד, מחיה כל ברחמים רבים, סומך הנופלים ורופא חולים, ומתיר אסורים, ומקיים אמונתו לשני עפר. מחמוך בעל גבורות, ומידו מלך, מלך ממית ומחיה, ומצמיח ישועה, ונאמן אתה לחיות הכל. ברוך אתה אדוני, מחיה הכל. אתה קדוש ושמך קדוש, וקדושים בכל יום אלוהיך סלה. ברוך אתה אדוני, האל הקדוש.
Please be seated. We turn now to page 177 as we join together in English at the top of the page. God of goodness, we give thanks for the gift of life, wonder beyond words, for the awareness of soul, our light within, for the world around us so filled with beauty, for the richness of the earth which day by day sustains us. For all these and more we offer thanks. Baruch atah Adonai hatov shimcha ulecha na'eh lehodot. And as we turn to page 178, we join now in a prayer for peace. Grant abundant peace to Israel, your people, forever, for you are the sovereign God of all peace. May it be pleasing to you to bless your people Israel in every season and moment with your peace. Blessed are you, Adonai, who blesses your people Israel with peace. Baruch atah Adonai, hamivarech et amo Yisrael, ba shalom. We take a moment now for Tefillat Halev. We turn to pages 180 and 181 for inspiration during this moment of silence.
Shalom bimrama, uyaseh shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'al kol yoshvei tevel v'imru. Shalom bimrama, uyaseh shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'al kol yoshvei tevel.
יושבי תבל אמרות. אמן. יאללה לה 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 יאללה לה יאללה לה 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 יאללה לה 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 יאללה לה לה לה
We are about to take the Torah from the Ark. One of our honorees stepped out of the sanctuary for a moment, so I will do things a little out of order. He's coming back, though, right? Okay. So I will do things a little out of order and tell you a little bit about the Torah portion and what page to find it on, and hopefully that amount of switching things will give him time to come back. So this week's Torah portion is Parshat Bechukotai. It is the last Torah portion in the book of Leviticus, and there are two main themes in Parshat Bechukotai. The first of these themes is blessings and curses. The Israelites are preparing for their time in the land, and to be settled in the land requires military strength. It requires knowledge of agriculture and a way for the people to feed themselves. It requires, most importantly, a sense of what it is to follow with God. So that's one theme, is the blessings and the curses. The blessings are very beautiful, and the curses are very disturbing. And then the second theme of Parshat Bechukotai is what you might call miscellaneous. It is a number of laws and rules that come together at the end. Most of them, if there's a common thread, most of them have to do with the finances of the sanctuary, what the value is of something you might want to donate to the sanctuary, what the rules are about tithing and for certain animals, and so it would be a strange way to end the portion, and so there's one sort of concluding line that ties it all together, and we'll hear these last three verses, the concluding financial details, and then the concluding line that wraps it up all together this evening. So I'll tell you the page number a little bit later, but we are ready to continue now with our service for the reading of the Torah, Seder Kriyat Torah, which is found in the Siddur on page 363. Assemble the people, men, women, and children, and the strangers in your cities, to hear, to learn, to revere Adonai your God, to observe faithfully the words of this Torah, and let their children who do not yet know it hear, that they too may learn to revere Adonai your God. We continue in the middle of the next page. Please rise. In this scroll is the secret of our people's life from Sinai until now. Its teaching is love and justice, goodness and hope. Freedom is its gift to all who treasure it.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Echad Eloheinu, Gadol Adonai Kadosh Shema, Gadol Adonai Iti, Adonai Shema Yachdav, Lecha Adonai Agidila, Yagidila, Yatifit, Yanetzach Vad, Ki Chal Bashamayim Uva
Please be seated. Okay, so you know a little bit now about Parashat Bechukotai, and we are going to read the last 3 verses of Parashat Bechukotai. Why those verses? Because they were the verses that Temple member Morris Sobel read at his bar mitzvah some time ago. I didn't ask how many years. It's not important. And so Morris approached me and volunteered to read the last 3 verses, known in more traditional congregations as the Maftir, as part of this evening's service. And so he is going to be reading from Leviticus chapter 27, verse 32 through 34, the last 3 verses of the book of Leviticus. And you can find that if you're here in the sanctuary. You can find it in the large blue Torah commentary books on page 970. And if you are watching at home and you have a copy of the revised Torah commentary at home, you can find this same Torah portion in the revised Torah commentary on page 872. So once again, here in the sanctuary, page 970, and at home, page 872. And so Morris will be reading from the Torah, and to honor the Torah with the Aliyah, we call upon Joseph and Ethan Swade.
Baruch et Adonai Baruch.
Baruch Adonai Hambarach Le'olam Va'ed.
Baruch et Adonai.
Baruch at.
Baruch et Adonai. What's that? Baruch et Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bachar banu mikol lanu torato. Baruch et Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen. V'chol masar bakar v'tzon kol asher ya'avor tachat hashavet ha'asiri yihye kodesh l'Adonai lo yivaker ben tov l'ra v'lo yimirenu v'im heima yimirenu V'hayahu u'temurato yihye kodesh lo yigoel ele hamitzvot asher tziva Adonai ad Moshe el bnei Yisrael behar Sinai chazak chazak v'nitchazek.
Baruch et Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan lanu torato emet Eloheinu l'chei olam. Baruch et Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen.
At this time, our thoughts turn to those in need of healing as we prepare to offer a Meshiberach for healing found in your Siddur on page 371. If you are watching us on live stream and you are thinking of someone in need of healing, I invite you to share the name of your loved one in the chat or comment section of the live stream platform. And similarly, if you've joined us here in the sanctuary this evening, I invite you to share the name of your loved one in need of healing out loud or in your heart. As a congregation, we think of our temple members and their loved ones in need of healing. Their names will appear on the screen in just a moment. And we think as well of Uvalde, Texas, of not only the people who were injured in the attack there on Tuesday, but of an entire community that has been ripped apart, a community in need of healing, a community in need of so much to restore the love and fabric of that community. We turn now to page 371, and we join together in the Mishaberach.
The ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say Amen. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say
We continue now with the lifting and dressing of the Torah, which is found at the bottom of page 370. Please rise if you are able for Hagba and Galila. We continue on page 374. Yehalalu et Shem Adonai ki niskav shemo levado.
Adoret v'shamayim v'yarem keren lama tehillah lechol chasida livnei Yisrael am נתתי לכם תורתי אל תעזבו. עץ חיים היא למחזיק עמר ותומכה מאושר דרך Shiveni Adonai
Please be seated. The final portion of the book of Leviticus offers us a choice. The choice is blessings or curses. Follow God's laws and commandments, and we will be blessed, our food will be abundant, and our land will be secure. Stray from God's path, and the curses are awful, too awful to truly consider. One of them even refers to the death of the children. It is clear that God does not want the death of children. Ever since God substituted a ram for Isaac on Mount Moriah, child sacrifice has been an abomination to God. But it is listed as one of the curses so as to incentivize the right choices. The Torah understands fear as one motivating factor in getting us to choose the right path, but it is not the only option, or even the first option. The Torah portion opens with the motivation for blessings. We ought to long for the path that satisfies God, that comforts our family, that brings us peace. Despite having a choice, and despite God wanting us to choose love, satisfaction, and peace, too often we choose fear. Our society is gripped by fear. It is a fear of those who don't look like us, speak like us, think like us, pray like us. Corporations, political leaders, the media, and the internet have all found profitability in making us afraid. And it has worked amazingly. The fearmongers made us afraid of life-saving vaccines, of refugees fleeing violence and persecution, and most significantly, of each other. And people who are afraid buy guns. The pandemic has seen a surge in gun purchases in this country. We have more guns than people in this country, and far more guns per capita than any other country. We've all felt fear, and we have all made a decision motivated by fear at some time in our lives. But here's the thing. Fear is often irrational. If we feared that which truly threatens us, a shooter at a school, or a grocery store, or a concert, or a synagogue, places that often have tight security, we would not hesitate to pass background checks and red flag laws and assault weapons bans. Instead, we are inundated with claims that what we fear can be addressed with more guns, that guns can make us strong or make us heroes. And beyond that, we are told to fear our freedoms being taken away. What good is that freedom when it costs the lives of 30,000 Americans a year? And so this country has been paralyzed by fear. The fear has oozed from our society into our politics, and now our political system is paralyzed too. We deserve common sense gun policies like background checks and red flag laws. But we will never get them so long as we are a society steeped in fear. Parashat Bechukotai teaches us we have a choice. When we choose God's laws, we will have strength. When we choose God's commandments, we will have peace. The key is to believe that we have more in common than meets the eye. The key is to establish trust based on the knowledge that we are all created in God's image. There are many obstacles between where we are now and this vision of the world we deserve. It will be slow and difficult to move beyond fear to trust. There are many people invested in preventing it from happening, but we can build this world. The choice is ours. Shabbat Shalom. We continue now with the Aleinu, which is found in the Siddur on page 586 at the bottom of the page. Please rise if you are able for the Aleinu.
Aleinu l'shabeach ladon hakol, latet gdula liotzer breishit, shelo asanu kikoye haratzot, velo asarmanu k'mishpachot adaman, שלא שם חלקנו כהן וגר עלינו ככל אמנם ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד ושמה אחד.
Please be seated. It is a fearful thing to love what death can touch. These words ring true for me as we cope with the deaths of 21 people gathered on a Tuesday to learn, to celebrate, to grow together. It's not just that their lives were tragically ended, it's that their lives were senselessly ended. I offer their names at this time. The students at Robb Elementary School in Uvalde, Texas, who died on Tuesday were all between 9 and 11 years old. Alexandria Ania Rubio, Alithia Ramirez, Amari Jo Garza, Annabelle Guadalupe Rodriguez, Eliahana Cruz Torres, Eliana Eli Garcia, Jackie Casares, Jaila Nicole Silguero, Jace Luevanos, Jose Flores, Leila Salazar, McKenna Lee Elrod, Maita Juliana Rodriguez, Miranda Mathis, Neva A. Bravo, Rogelio Torres, Tess Marie Mata, Uzia Garcia, Javier Lopez, and their teachers, Eva Mireles, age 44, and Irma Garcia, age 48. Words cannot describe the loss, but the words of the Kaddish with their emphasis on God's greatness perhaps can ease the pain. To prepare for the Kaddish, we turn now to page 594 as Amanda Eastman joins in duet with Cantor Tillum for a musical version of a reading so many of us know. It has new resonance after this tragedy.
It is a fearful thing to love what death can touch, a fearful thing to love, hope, dream, to be, and all to lose. A thing for fools this, and a holy thing to love. For your life has lived in me, for your loved ones lifted me, for your word was gift to me. To remember this brings a painful joy. Ooh.
'tis a human thing, love, a holy thing to love. 'Tis a human thing, love, 'tis a human thing, love, a holy thing to love. 'Tis a human thing, love, 'tis a human thing, love, 'tis a holy thing to love. 'Tis a human thing, love, a holy thing to love, to love what death has touched.
This Shabbat, we remember those for whom we are in the Shloshim 30-day period of mourning. Stephen Laskin, remembered by Laurel and Seth Kane. Nancy Schreiber, sister of Michael Goodman and aunt of Danielle Foyer. Scott Sharon, remembered by Mickey and Michael Grunstein. Eric Edelman, nephew of Beth and Christopher Clark and grandson of Glenda and Martin Edelman. Helene Sandler, Temple member and wife of Mel Sandler. We remember as well those whose yahrzeits occurred this week. Adele Anasini, Thelma Ahrensberg, Barbara Blumberg Krumholtz, Victor Claron, Fanny Toe Coven, Mary Deutsch, Max F. Eisner, Carola Filowitz, Joseph Gaumont, Raya Hamilton, Bernard Hirschfield, Irving Judson, Robert Caroli, Ann Kirsch, Harry Kirschenbaum, Richard Norman Koffler, David Lou Patton, Maurice Ellis Meyer, Pauline Nadler, Tobias J. Price, Louis S. Rappaport, Solomon Rappaport, Goldie Sulkin, Jenny Schwartz, Israel Siegel, Paul Silverstein, Louis Staffen, Lois Staffen, Carrie Stern, Annette Tolomeo, Bernard Wasserman, and Richard Weiss. We remember the names of 6 of the 6 million who perished in the Holocaust. Edma Abramson of the Soviet Union, age 10. Lyudmila Abramson of the Soviet Union, age 7. Maria Abramson of the Soviet Union, age 4. Leova Abramovich of the Soviet Union, age 4. Simon Abramovich of Poland, age 10. Pesel Abramovich of the Soviet Union, age 8. And we remember the name of a member of our community who died recently and will be buried after Shabbat, Dion Danis, a member of Temple Emeth and wife of Benjamin Ward. We remember them all. We take them into our hearts with our own as we turn now to page 598. Please rise if you are able as together we recite the Mourner's Kaddish. Yitgadal v'yitgadash Shemei Rabbah, Be'alma divrach yirutei v'yamlich malchutei, B'chayechon v'yomechon v'chayei d'chol Beit Yisrael, Ba'agalal v'yizman kariv imru, Amen. Yehei Shmei Rabbah mivorach le'olam u'almei almaya, Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh, v'yithadar v'yit'aleh v'yithalal Shemei d'kudsha b'rechu, La'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechemata, da'amiran be'alma v'imru, Amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya, v'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, v'imru, Amen. Oseh shalom bimromav, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, v'imru, Amen. May the source of peace send peace to all who mourn and comfort to all who are bereaved. And let us say, Amen. Please be seated. It is my pleasure at this time to call upon Stacy Butler, a member of our Board of Trustees, to offer Shabbat greetings and announcements. Stacy. There you go.
Shabbat Shalom, everyone.
Shabbat Shalom.
On behalf of the Board of Trustees, it's my pleasure to welcome you to our Memorial Day weekend Shabbat Evening Service. Next weekend will be a busy one here at Temple Emeth. Friday night, June 3rd, join us as we honor high school graduates at a family Shabbat service starting at 7:30 p.m. Saturday evening, June 4th, we celebrate this year's confirmation class in an Erev Shavuot service starting at 7:45 p.m. Then, on Sunday, June 5th, please join us for a Shavuot morning service with Yizkor starting at 10:30 a.m. After a one-day break, we'll return on Tuesday, June 7th for Temple Emeth's annual congregational meeting. We'll meet in person in the social hall starting at 7 p.m. The meeting will also be offered on live stream. Saturday night, June 11th, our silent auction returns at Celebrate Emeth. Some featured items include the ever-popular Shabbat lunch with the Sir Booze and dinner with the Cantor, a wine tasting for 20, the chance to have a fictional character named after you, and beautiful photographs and a painting by our own temple artists. Bidding will be done online this year, so you can participate whether or not you're planning to be at the gala. Online bidding opens this Tuesday, June 7th. This busy month continues on Friday, June 17th, when we host our annual Pride Shabbat service. Our guest speaker for the night will be attorney Deborah Gustin, chairperson of the Bergen County Advisory Committee on LGBTQ issues. Temple Emeth will sing some special music for the occasion. Finally, on Friday night, June 24th, we'll have our installation of officers. Shabbat evening services will start at 8 p.m. Thank you for this evening's volunteers in the live stream control room. Pauline Hecht and Barbara Balkin, joined by Amanda Eastman, are at the controls this evening. Shabbat Shalom.
Thank you, Stacy. Our closing song is found on page 161 in the Siddur. The song is Let There Be Love, inspired by the Hashkivenu. The cantor said in her email that it was going to be a surprise. Anyone who's been around the block once or twice, I think, saw right through the surprise. But in case you're surprised up to now, for the closing song, I'm going to walk over there.
I want to take a minute to thank everyone who participated in the duet service. This is always a fun service. If you didn't get a chance tonight, believe me, we'll have another duet service. But thank you all so much. I have a great time singing with everyone here. I hope you had fun too. And it's so nice that everyone can really share their talent. Some people we didn't even know sing got up and sang, including a very not nervous bat mitzvah mom and a home from college young lady. And it was very nice. Oh, and a recent graduate father, the father of a recent college grad. Wow, this was really lovely. Thank you all so much for singing. And I look forward to doing it again. And now I want to welcome my friend and colleague, Rabbi Serbiu, to join me, along with Tom Mustachio.
Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. Hashkivenu, Adonai Eloheinu, Hashkivenu, Leishanu, V'ha'amidenu, Shomreinu lechaim.
understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from the storms.
Okay, camera, he's back over there.
Okay. Well, we have reached the end of our service. If you have been watching us on live stream, it's your last chance to post something in the chat or comment section of the live stream platform, maybe a yasher koach to your favorite participant in our duet service. That would be a nice thing, or simply a Shabbat Shalom. We are going to face one another as we conclude our service, and we conclude by saying Shabbat Shalom.